Hey, this is Zero Pass coming at you 7:30 a.m. my time for more Chaos Breaker standard discussion. So I've been watching some more videos out there, going through cards, looking at the comments, and just kind of want to bring it all in together. This evolution of Chaos Breaker Dragon standard, the deck, and yeah. So wanted to bring up a few things. One of them is this here. Some of y'all mentioned it, and I've seen people. I saw one match playing with it. I don't think they ever used it. It's on VGG's channel. Let's talk about the benefits and the not so benefits of this card. So I want to talk about the negs of this card first of all. It's a 2-for-1, right? But that's pretty much it. It's 2-for-1. So that's the negative part of it. Positive part of this card, the pros. Goes in, it puts that card into Soul. Not itself, that would have been amazing. Put this into Soul, look at the top 3. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. It does put a card into Soul. So this is a Soul charging card. Not only that, it allows you to look at top 3, not 2 like Dark Gates, which we're gonna get to. She's right here. You look at the top 3 and you can get whatever. Put the rest on the bottom. If it's stuff you wanted, you can shuffle with White Dwarf. So really powerful. I really like this, and I've put one in my deck. I haven't play tested with it yet, but one or two, I think 1 or 2 is actually good. So instead of running 3 cat, I put this in place of 1 because it does soul charge. The other thing it's doing is it's doing what she does. But instead of soul blasting to do that, instead of having a restriction of your opponent can only have 2 or less cards in play on the rear guard circles, this doesn't care about that. So this card really is, in my opinion, somewhat of a fusion between Opener of Dark Gates and Aharnof's Cat. And I really like this. I think this is really cool. So I'm running one. I'm running one right now. One of the other cards, where'd he go? Oh, he's in here. So, this guy. Yeah. Gastoru. He works with, where are you? Come on. Here, this guy. So I was watching a match on VGT's channel where the player was clearly playing with this combo. I think it's a cool combo. It is a combo that's used in Messiah. And I think it's pretty tech. I like it. I think it's cool. However, it's only working with him. I wouldn't run that guy. Okay. However, this guy is a on Vanguard, on rear guard ability. We all love those abilities, right? On Vanguard, on rear guard ability. Claw, on Vanguard, rear guard. Zirconium, on Vanguard, rear guard. We love those abilities. This guy is an on Vanguard, rear guard ability. It is at the end of the battle. Not when it hits, but at the end of the battle. You counterblast, put a card from your hand, preferably one that is not an on-play skill, face down locked, then draw a card. And so the reason they were using the other guys, they put those down in play, they draw off him, that would flip at the end of turn, they draw another. It accelerates draw. It's actually really awesome. And if you want to go that route, by all means. I think this opens up an avenue, or brings in an avenue from other decks, another deck type. I think this brings in another possibility here of accelerating draw. Would this allow you to go up on your crits? Maybe. You know, things like that too. You could consider that. So, very awesome, very cool. My problem is my grade 2 slots. I'm not totally sold on them yet. Although by the end of this video I might be. He's definitely very welcomed into my suite of cards. And I would run him at a 1 or 2 of if you're not running this. Just so you can place and you get a +1. Okay. This combo is +2. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy good. So, am I ever going to go up to this and do this? Maybe. The problem is my grade 1s are pretty tight. This is going to end up taking a slot for something like this, or something like these guys, okay, which we're going to talk about. Not her. You should be over here. Something like this suite here. So on hit draw, Soul Blast, effectively, you know, a plus. This is a +1, but not only a +1. This actually lets you search 2, okay, 3. We're gonna get back to this in a second. So I really appreciate this combination right here. So we'll see. We'll see. You watch next week. I have 4 and 4. Who knows? Who knows? So the combination with that, I'm definitely putting one of him in from what I saw. I really like that. Seeing this, I'm definitely putting one of those in. So might as well just bring that out here. So my triggers right now are 6 and 6, like before. So that hasn't changed. We have 4 Chaos Breaker. We have 4 Zirconium. We have 4 Claw. We have 4 White Dwarfs. They came in, and I have 2 Aronoff's Cat in the deck. So this is all spoken for. And then 3 of him, definitely 3. Okay, so I'm just gonna put these all aside. The sleeves that you see out here is the space that's left. Okay, so, and I like this. I'm gonna put him at 1. I think he has a place in here. I could put potentially 2, but I think one for now. We're gonna put the 1 in there for now. Okay, so there's that. Those 2. I wanted to get those off the table first. One of y'all mentioned this, and the irony, not irony, it's actually really funny. Last Saturday I was talking about Geo, and then I go and look at what you guys were commenting on. Not too long after, I saw this, and I'm like, wow, somebody actually stepped it even up further. I knew this card existed, this artwork, but I had totally forgotten what it did. And I went and pulled some out of some boxes I have just lying around here. And it's like, wow, 15K shield, really? You're basically using a gray 2 slot as a trigger shield slot. This is really cool. If this had been 8K, I would have been even happier, because 8, you know, is a better number. If you need to attack with this and you got 2 force markers, it's 28. It's a magic number. At 27, it's a magic number if you're playing against Excel or Protect. So there's that. That's not too bad. But if you're really, I don't want to say desperate, but if you're not content with the grade 2s that you have in your deck, for example, if these aren't working out for you, they're just not pulling in the wins, and maybe you're like, I like this, but or this, I'm looking for other options. I commend this. This is awesome. I love this. So am I gonna end up going that way? We'll see. We'll see. Someone else on in the comments had mentioned a card that I had mentioned as a tech. That's Gradle. And I appreciate seeing the list there. Delete Chaos delete. If you're gonna do that, I would use Gradle, not Grayon. Grayon's 2 counterblasts. This only countercharges if you have a Cyber Dragon. Okay, so you're gonna have to rewrite Chaos Breaker to use this, which maybe you are. You know, it's fine. It's if it works for you, by all means play that. Don't listen to me. Okay, but I gotta compare Gradle to Chaos Breaker, because that's the card that I would run if I was trying to run something like a finisher in that vein. And so let's look at the pros and cons with Gradle versus being on Chaos Breaker as a finishing blow. Chaos Breaker gets a crit from Zirconia. That requires a setup. That requires 2 cards. Chaos Breaker is getting +10 when there's a card that is locked, which typically there will be. Gradle's negating 10. Gradle's not only negating 10 for itself, but for all attacks. It's negating 10. So there is that. Gradle binds a card. Gradle gets a crit. Chaos gets a crit. Gradle binds a card. Chaos locks a card. Gradle says that your opponent can't move cards around. If your opponent has cards in the back row that you've bound with Zirconium, that they think they're going to move up next turn, that'd be great, except you can't use Zirconium when you're on Gradle. So that would have been not a massive setup, but it would have been a setup that you would have had to use something like Barrel the turn before so that it stays locked, so they can't move. Something like that. Yeah. So I have a hard time seeing how Gradle is going to be the better finisher than Chaos, except when you start looking at the 2 rearguard golems. So she's got +10, Gradle's subtracting 10 from the entire front row, so that'd be including her attack, or whoever's on a rearguard attack. So there is that. So Gradle is basically minusing 20 off the front for the attack. It's basically giving you 20, your opponent negging them 20. You know what I mean. There's a 20k differential. So, and those are on two different columns. So there's 15k guard. There's 30k guard total that you're pushing your opponent for. It's not bad. I would run 2 Gradle. I wouldn't run a Greyhound. I'd run 2 Gradle. So, but if Greyhound's working for you, by all means, don't listen to me, because you know, we all have our favorites, and things work out for us. Just we all play a little different. So I was just thinking about how I really like that combo with a grade 2. The reason why I don't like this card, again, I may have said it already. Sorry, it's really early. This takes up a grade 1 slot. The thing I'm finding in building this thing and evolving this deck is really what you're seeing through these videos, is that it just takes the grade 1 slot, and my grade 1 slots are really tight. I've got 4 White Dwarf, I've got 4 Claw, and now I've got 2 Cat, and I've got 1 Bengal. I don't have many grade 1 slots left. In fact, it may only be 3, because these are the only slots we have left right now, and we currently only have 5 grade 2s. So I want to get to that. Grade 2s, playing Murakumo and playing Shadow Paladins, both my decks have 8 grade 2s. And they work. The really cool thing about Starvaders in V-Era is that Claw, on hit, searches the top 5 for a Starvader, Zirconium. And that's pretty good. So that's effectively saying, okay, I only have 4 Zirconium in the deck, but I have 4 ways of searching for them, so I really have more than 4, in a way, percentage-wise, in terms of finding that card. The Bengal that we threw in can also help you find a grade 2. And if, you know, you could run 2. You could run 2 of these if you want. This card, to me, is a fusion of Arnav's Cat and Opener of Dark Gates. It soul charges a card. It's a 2-for-1, so you're nagging there, but it does soul charge a card, and instead of looking at the top 2, you're looking at the top 3. So this card is very, very powerful. I just wouldn't run this at more than 1 or 2 copies. You flood your hand with this, you're going to be really unhappy. It's really good fodder for PG draws, but there's no shield on this or anything. This card literally is not doing anything there. However, it's very... I like this card. This card reminds me of the things I like to do in other card games I play, right? It's not a trainer, you know, this isn't Magic the Gathering, but it has that attribute to it. I kind of think of this as like a brainstorm in a way. Yeah, so there's that, okay? But the grade 1s are really, I mean, we've got, what do we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've already got 11 grade 1s. Grade 2s we're at 5. Grade 3s we're at currently 3, could run 4. That depends. If you're gonna go this way, so depending on your play group, if your play group swarms, your play group likes to play Excel, like, you know, Aquaforce, things like that, where the cards just stick, this is going to be really, really good. If they're playing Grand Blue, they're playing Pale Moon, playing Gurgwit. It's kind of up to you. So, talking about Gurgwit, I have a Gurgwit friend who says that Percival should have just been outright banned. I mean, Blonde Ezel, You know, or not Blonde Ezel, what am I saying? Lion Hair Ezel, the grade 3. So he, yeah, anyways, there's all of that. So yeah, Gurgwit, again, bringing cards to hand, things like that. So it'll be interesting playing against that, that deck once Percival's out of it, because honestly, Percival's a huge problem for me. Do pretty well against the deck, just the Percival factor, really, honestly. I think it was a good, it was probably the right hit. Was it hit the right way? I don't know, leave it up to you guys. So, things I've learned this week, this guy, you know, I really kind of shined this here. So adding those to help. They're helping draw cards, helping search, and the ones helping soul. It's really good. This, awesome choices, you know, if you want that. I don't know why she's out here right now. We can always talk about this card. It's a really good early game pressuring card. It is a Soul Blast, and we have more Soul Charge in there now. This reminds me of Dusk, because it's an on hit. Is it an on hit? Yeah, when it hits the Vanguard, it's on hit. What am I saying? If this was an on hit, that would be amazing. Hey, I'm gonna swing and just bind. I'm gonna swing and just draw. No, this is on hit, and I've typically played with this throughout the era. This has usually been in my deck, no matter what I built. Schwarzschild, even when I had some Messiah going, Harmonics, I typically had this in at 3 or 4. So, and it works on Vanguard, Rearguard. So it's another reason why I like this card. And I bring that up because I'm moving towards more cards that are more versatile in what they do, where they are, not mattering so much. So this card, it's going to be able to function on the Vanguard. So if this is your grade 2 ride, you swing, your opponent either guards or you draw. It's really simple. Chances are they don't have a field, so if they don't have a field, then it's pretty good for you, right? If they don't guard. Soul Blast, 1 draw. It's really, really good. So going back to an old friend here. Doesn't require any setup like her, right? I love this card, but yeah, there's that. Okay. Not a counterblast, it's a soul charger. Or not a soul charger, a soul blaster. So there's that, there's these, there's this from last time we talked. Or I guess last time I talked. We talked. You put comments in, so we talked. What am I saying? So we've got this. Do we need 3? Or not 3, 4. We'll see here in a second. We're gonna get to our grade 1s here in a second. Okay, so Chaos and Friend, grade 3s. Grade 2s. Zirconium, Waving, and Gastoru, right? Someone asked me for a deck list, and here we go. Do it this way. Two cat, four claw, four dwarf, one Bengal. Rainstorm, right? Okay. 9 grade 2s. I'm actually fine with 9 grade 2s. I don't know about you, but I am. Totally fine with that. I'm fine making these all grade 1s. Grade 1s are really powerful in Link Joker. Resources and effects. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 slots. Okay. So, how many counterblasters do we have? We have 9, because we put one of him in here. Okay, so this is starting to become up for contention in terms of being put back on the deck. We could run 2 if we want. Card advantage. Card advantage pressure. Control. So, notice who's out. Okay, I know some of you are probably cheering that on. Yeah, I get it. I'm with you. I'm also with you who like it because I really, really like the card. Really good because he's Vanguard Rearguard ability, but unless your opponent has a card in play, it's not really doing much. You'd rather probably just lock it. This can soul charge, so still a good card. Getting back to her, she can soul charge too, but she requires you to have a suite of cards that bind. So there is that. Her, really good card. However, I want cards that are going to help plus me and cards that are going to pressure on the Vanguard circle. The problem is this gives me no grade 2 play. So no grade 2 play, no grade 2 play. Has a grade 2 play. But as y'all know, and even her, she has no grade 2 play. She's not even on Vanguard. As you all know, the game's very quick now. The third or fourth turn, game is pretty much, you know, somebody's won. It's a very, very quick, typically. Now, Chaos Breaker's going to be able to slow it down a bit, especially if you use something like this against, like, say, another Force Clan. You really can stall the deck, or stall the game. So that's one thing that we have going for us. However, notice the suite I have here. Vanguard Rearguard, Vanguard Rearguard, Vanguard Rearguard. I really, really like that. And so I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna see how this does. This does bind, so it would allow Marinel to come back in, possibly, but it is a conditional. Your opponent has to not guard, or has to take that damage. Basically, it has to be a hit, just like Dustblade. Okay, but it's worth it because you're forcing your opponent to have to do something. This is amazing because he just doesn't care. Doesn't care at all. Zirconium doesn't care. Swift It really doesn't care, but your opponent has to do something because it's an on hit. They have to make a decision. Let's put it that way. It's like claw. It's an on hit. They have to make a decision. So enough said on that. Again, we have 7 soul chargers. Claw usually is going to go in, lock, unlock. Then you're just going to soul blast to draw 1 off Chaos Breaker. But still, it did its job. It's a soul charger. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 soul chargers. I feel pretty good with that with regards to who we're going to run here. So this is if you want to go real grindy and you want, or remember, this is really good early game with Zirconium. So this definitely, if you want to go that route, I'd probably want to run this at 4 copies, 3 to 4 copies, because you're going to want to see it. So then that leaves us with 2 more here. Again, we have 9 counter blast requiring cards. We've got him. So yeah, right now this is where I'm at. So give me a few minutes here while I think about this in terms of deck design. This is later game card because you got to be on a grade 3. So running him at 3 is not bad. Okay, because you're gonna want to see this. You're gonna want to see this card when you hit grade 3. Okay, so that's pretty good. I wouldn't run more than 3 of this, and you don't need to because we have this is effectively part of the ability here is like her. There's 3 and 3, and now we bring him over, and we say, well. What do I want to do here? Let's get all my cards in a row. I'm just stalling, right? I'm just stalling. Let's see here. I hope you all had a good week. I had a pretty busy week. Pretty busy. So, but it was good. It was good. Busy clinic week. So, let's see here. The only, well, not only. So we have 2 grade 1s, so we need to take the same thought process here. This all works on Vanguard. I have a pretty good grade 2 game right now because all my grade 2s do something for me when they're on the Vanguard. So that I'm really happy with. Grade 1s, Claw and White Dwarf do something for me. So I at least have 8 good first ride targets. That's really, really good. Are there any other grade 1 ride targets that I would like that really would matter a lot? There's him. And so when placed, put the top card of your deck on R as locked. That's very good. Once returned Soul Blast, look at the top card of your deck, put it on R as locked. You know what? I think I'm running one here. Because he has an on Vanguard ability, it is a +1. That's exactly what we want. In my deleter deck, I ran 1 copy of him. In fact, I might have ran 3. So I'm going to bring over, I'm not going to probably run 3, but I'm going to bring these guys over. I'm definitely running 1. Definitely running 1. Definitely. Okay. So there's that. Okay. There is that. So Do I want to flood my deck with a lot of him? Probably not. But definitely one of? Absolutely. Absolutely. And the reason I like the one is if that's the card I have in my hand on Vanguard, plus. Now the danger here is I may get a card that's non-placement effect, but I still +1. So that's not bad. So that takes us down to 5. So this, yeah, on Vanguard. On Vanguard. If we start adding more cards like this, we start thinking about teching this in, right? And this is actually, and her, I mean, you could start, I don't know how far down that rabbit hole you want to go. But definitely, he's locking a card. This is locking a card. You're now like, okay, do I start thinking about running this as a tech slot? And I'd probably just run the 1. Definitely get an extra attack. So, Jarul with Gradle might be better though. Just better pressure maybe? Although this gives, what is it, +15s? Daily battle attacked if your soul has a grade 3 or greater card, which it will, because you're just going to attack the 1 in. Counterblast 1, discard a card from hand. Something like that. Choose any number of fighters, locked cards, unlock them, draw the same number of cards, and 2 rear guards. Front row get +15. So, not bad. Not bad. It's not what I'm going for here, but I'm just going for if I open with this, I get a +1 on the field. Pretty good, pretty good. So that gives me really good, 9 really good first right targets for grade 1s, just like our grade 2s. So unfortunately grade 3s, 4, but you know, you hope you can get into it, draw into it. The fun thing about him is that if you get a grade 3, it's kind of cool. Puts on early pressure, early game. If you Zirconium on your grade 2 ride and you had put Chaos Breaker on your grade 1 ride, the Chaos Breaker is going to get +10. So that's a 23k column that you're attacking with on grade 2. Pretty cool. Pretty awesome, right? I just want to make sure I'm reading this all right. Yeah, continuous Vanguard Rearguard. During your turn, opponent has a locked card, +10. So that could accelerate you. So there's a few reasons why this card's actually really decent. Would I run more than 1 though? Maybe. Soul Blast 1 to look at the top card of your deck and put it on R as locked. So it reminds me of the on hit Cyber Fairy. I think she's a Cyber Fairy. Vanguard Rearguard. Remember that grade 1? You remember her? She is a good she's a good option too. So I gotta bring her back out. You know what I'm talking about. Pink card, real pink card. Yeah. Where's she at? There she is. Remember what I was saying a few videos ago? Card's got Vanguard Rearguard on it. It's pretty good. At least you should think about it. So, her. When its attack or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, put a card from your hand as R is locked and draw a card. This is actually probably better than him, to be honest. I like this, getting that on my grade 2 turn and getting the 23. That's really situational. This card, I get to choose what I put from my hand. is locked. I like this. I like this card. So, would I run more than one? Definitely gonna run one. Definitely gonna run one. I think. I keep saying definitely. Definitely gonna do this. Definitely gonna do this. Let's see here. Is there still a reason to run this? Put the top card of my deck on R as locked. This actually could screw me over. Maybe. Yeah, this... See, the problem with him is he's putting the lock on his second ability when he's on rear guard. He's putting the locked card off the top of your deck rather than from your hand, so you don't know what that is. Her, you're putting it from your hand. Yeah. As locked. And draw a card. So she pluses. Anything that pluses is very much welcomed in this deck. And not only does she work on Vanguard, she also works in the rearguard circle. So this card is just free. This card just says, hey, opponent, you better do something, or I'm drawing cards. And I'm not even soul blasting for it. It's really good, isn't it? This is like a really good card. Huh. I was wondering why I had it in my first video up there. Because it's Value Town. And I know how Value Town it is when I play against my friend and he pulls out his Messiah deck. It's painful. It's really painful, especially when he puts 2 or 3 in play. I'm like, oh, you're gonna draw all over the place. So, am I gonna really wanna run more than 2? Well, I could consider 3. It doesn't search as much as this. Definitely doesn't. I mean, it's just the one card, right? This is giving me 2. This requires my opponent to have a very small number in play. This pressures the opponent. I like this. I like this card. I really do. Rethinking it again. It's back in. It's back in. The reason I currently have her in over him, I already explained. Definitely like this though. This has definitely made it out of my binder back into my considerations for this deck. This here, she's better because she's on Vanguard. That's why she is in the deck right now and over one of these at the moment. 4 slots, for crunching, for Omega locking when I hit Zirconium. Versus Search Plus. Remember, I can always run more than one of these too. So I could do that. But again, remember what I said, I don't know, 2 hours back. If I'm gonna run this, I'm gonna do it at 4. Because this would be to try to help him and what he's doing so that when I ride Chaos Breaker, that locked card from Zirconium the turn before, I'm actually gonna get value out of it in terms of card draw. So what I'm thinking is probably another one of her and one of them versus just 4 of this. So right now we've got 10 really good first ride targets if you went second, right? Things you can, this is gonna work if you went first or second. Claw and her will work if you went second because it's you attack. So not only that, these cards are they work throughout the game. If boost. She basically has the same wording as he does. So, you know, those cards, their value is throughout the game, as is hers. Yeah, so most of our grade 1s actually are Vanguard, rearguard centric. Like they work everywhere with what they want to do, which is really good. because Bengal's letting us search, and because she's putting pressure to draw, and because waving is putting pressure to draw, I think I can probably drop her for now. I think so. And don't get me wrong at all. I actually really love this card. I've been goldfishing with it. I really love it. But it depends on what my real opponent would be having. So she's been in my deck the entire week. You know, I come home, play around a little bit with my deck, and she's been in there. So, and she's pretty good. He's also been in there as well. But I'm thinking it's this. I'm thinking it's Omega Lock. I'm thinking it's oh, I want to show you something. Something I just realized about this card. Something I just realized about that card. Sorry I'm taking so long. I'm glad you guys are just kind of hanging out with me. Just want to talk about a few things. Some of this is really, actually this is all irrelevant to gameplay. I really like the quote on this version of Gradle, which isn't on the gold shiny ones, but it says hope, faith, friendship. Kind of the same vein of what Chaos Breaker has on his cards. All you have will be not. So, you know, flavor-wise, if you're gonna run this version. Run him. And I think, I really like the SVRs. I really do. I think they're really cool. Even Phantom Blaster. I know it's orange, but whatever. You know, I like them. So, to get to my point, crunching deleter. What does he do? Exactly what Big Crunch does. Notice the name Crunch? So, back in, right? Slow clap. Big Crunch was our Omega Locker for Stride when Strides first came out. This is the card that we were running, and it would Omega Lock a column. It's really, really awesome. And it was a counterblast. It required you to be at GB2, so you can do this on your first Stride, which was kind of a pain. We had an eight card G zone, and so you ran this, and you ran the one Messiah, Judgment Messiah that came in the trial deck, and that was pretty much it before we had G guards. So you would, you know, that's what you had. And yeah, but the point here is they both Omega Lock, they both have Crunch in the name. Big deal, right? I just thought it was interesting that they were named that way. I don't know if that was done on purpose, probably not. But when I saw Crunching Deleter, when I saw that promo, I was like, wow, okay, premium. And if you go back and look at my video from over a year ago, it might almost be 2 years now, on Premium Chaos Breaker, that thing went right in. That thing went right in. This was like, wow, I don't need Big Crunch to do this job. I got him, and so yeah, I think Deleter invasion is happening, fam. We've got Swift, and now we've got Crunching. So, yep. And it's thematic, you know, not just thematic, but it's functional too, especially with Zirconium. If this is what you run into, you do Zirconium, you have this, wow, you know, just go ham with that. So let's see here. I'll put this here. I really like the addition, or getting this card back in here. I really like this. You know, we're gonna see. I'm gonna leave this out here for a second. Do we need a fourth one of him? let's think about this. So, no, we have 9 counterblasters. We've got, yeah, no, I don't think we need more than just the 3, okay? So when I was playtesting last weekend, that's what I noticed with just 8, actually more than 8 counterblasters in here, but we just have the 1. So this card, I would probably just have 1 of her in the deck if I went up to 2 of this. This is really good. And I really, it's kind of hurting that I don't have this in here right now because I really like this ability. Excuse me. So having 2 of this in here, oh, what would I take out? What would I take out? I could just have 1 cat, 1 Aharonov's cat. I know that I want this in here, at least 1, because of what it does, and it's a soul charger. And we do need soul, because right now, what do we have for soul blasts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, we have a lot, so... This gives us the +1 we're looking for this. So is that going to be the right choice? Do we want to go down on to 8 grade 2s? I don't think so. I think I'm going to be happier with 9. Crunching. We could go down to 3, but again, it'll be interesting to see if he actually sticks around. I think I want to keep that card. 16 grade 1s plus the extra card. This could have been a grade 2, whatever. So that's where I'm at right now. Okay, this adding 1 more of this is really where my headspace is right now. So to kind of reiterate, we're just going to use 3 for now, just because our counterblast numbers are down. The bind suite has really come out. I did take to heart the shield suite, and I appreciate that. I think that's awesome. She's just not in here right now. We've really focused on having Vanguard second to grade 2, so we have a grade 2 game of sorts. He's entered our arsenal of our thought space in terms of, you know, chalkboard, theory crafting, what are we going to do? These 2 are out right now, but definitely not out of contention. They definitely could come back in here at some point, and she's snuck herself way back in to the deck because she's Vanguard centric. So I hope you guys like the deck profile. I hope you like the discussion in theory crafting and deck construction. And until next time, take care. Peace.